time for this.
I'm out of here. Is it Star Wars related? Do you guys see The Mandalorian? Wow.
I was going to say, because I watch these at midnight. Neither of you are with me.
I watch it 2 hours after you.
Yeah, well.
I don't want to kick you off here.
I watch it before you.
Okay.
But I almost texted both of you and I said, well, another transition episode again.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was... like right in the beginning, he's like, "Oh, we can't make it to see the Jedi. He's like, we have to go see some old friends." I'm like, "Oh, here we go, another transition episode."
More ice spiders.
And then it ended up not being that, so I was like really happy.
Yeah.
The old bait and switch.
Yeah. But I mean, up to the point when Baby Yoda goes to school, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible."
Oh, I loved it.
That was pretty cute.
I loved that.
The whole opener with little Baby Yoda in the...
And he's eating blue macarons?
Yeah,
that was great.
Instantly
Blue
thought
Oreos. Yeah, I thought the opening with him in the little tube.
Yeah, the little service vent, and he's trying to fix the...
I thought that was a nice like father-son bonding moment.
I adore... I think, Steven, you said you don't really care for the baby, like the cooing and the baby noises. I love that. I think it's so good.
It just doesn't sound like a Yoda voice to me. Like, yeah.
That doesn't sell.
It should have sounded more like Yoda instead of an actual human baby. Is what
You don't know what Yoda sounded like.
That's fair. Think of the merchandise.
Cookie.
God.
So what was the point in this episode where you decided that it was a good episode? Or for you?
When toward the end, when the clones showed up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now it has purpose."
You mean the last scene?
The clones.
Oh, you're talking about the lab.
The lab.
Like where they discover...
Yeah, pretty much like when it cut to the two guys and like they're trying to hide some kind of evidence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, something's happening.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
That was pretty intriguing. I felt like they were trying to set something up when they were in the base, and then it was very tense.
Yeah, and then one of the moments that was leading into that moment that made me think, oh, this might actually have some purpose behind it, was when Mando said something like, I don't like this.
He might as well have said, these are Snoke clones.
Snow clones?
Snow clones.
Snow clones.
Wait, okay, you guys think those are clones?
I think they were like test tube clones. Like personally, I think it would be interesting if they went into that arc of cloning Snoke. Oh, you meant Snoke
really?
Clones.
That's what I said.
I
Snoke clones.
I thought you said snow clones. Like snow troopers, and I was like, that was
like
a really
snow
bad joke.
cones?
Yeah,
You ever have a
yeah.
snow cone? Delicious.
Okay, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
You think those are clones?
Well,
When I was doing my post...
or they're trying to be clones.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think that they were?
Well, okay, I kind of think that. I kind of do, but...
The general consensus online is that they're probably leaning into the whole cloning business of Snoke so that they can not only justify the sequel trilogy in a way, but also this seem to be where the signs are leading. Everything from Baby Yoda's force sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, they're extracting his essence or his blood or whatever.
I don't really think... I wouldn't think that The Mandalorian would touch the sequel trilogy stuff too much, personally. I don't think it would do that. Not that I don't want it to. I just kind of see it sort of being its own thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've seen a lot of utterings in the rumor mills after my pilfering that...
pilfering the internet.
So Moff Gideon's speculative plan is to take these like donors with high M count. They literally mentioned.
I wonder what that could be.
Well,
that's so hype.
I love how they did that, and I love that like people are excited about them mentioning the Mandalorians.
That was the first thing I thought.
That's when you know the show is good.
Yo, you ever see the Phantom Menace?
But so watching these videos, what I now think might happen is that Moff Gideon is taking these blood samples out of like high force sensitive beings and like trying to give force sensitivity to people, and he wants it for himself because he kind of plays as this more like Imperial warlord character, rather than one of the guys who starts the First Order, which something I would never have known if I didn't watch these videos today, was that there was this like Imperial meeting after the Battle of Jakku when basically they lost the war. And all these Imperial like high command guys were called to like say, hey, I know you guys are all like fanatical Nazis. What do you say we try again in a few years?
What do you say we give it another
and
go?
he wasn't part of that.
Okay.
Apparently that's confirmed somehow. I don't know. But
yeah, so
that's definitely the other possibility, which would lend credence to the idea that maybe those are people that he's going to fill the suits with, that those armor, the Stormtrooper, special, possibly Dark Trooper that we see at the end of the episode.
They actually are Dark Troopers.
They are for sure.
When you watch it with the descriptive audio, it says Dark Troopers.
What?
Yeah.
What it says, like, these are Dark Troopers.
And that's bringing back from the
legacy canon
stuff that used to be canonized that is no longer canonized.
It's like 1995 Dark Forces video game. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super cool.
They aren't they like the idea
droids.
of the Dark Trooper? Oh, are they droids?
Yeah.
I thought they
that's
were.
what I thought.
I thought they were genetically enhanced.
Him and I had this debate already. I was like, I'm
it
pretty
wasn't
sure
a
they were
debate.
droids.
It was like a 10-second
I
discussion.
always thought that
one
too.
of us is right. So
Well, I'm holding out hope because they looked like you know,
Droids.
people in there.
Yeah.
look like droids.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
Well,
It's dark. They're Dark
But-
Troopers.
they're dark
But I
droids.
think if it's not the Snoke thing, which would be, I guess, then it looks like he would maybe try to. Well, if those are droids, then they're droids. But I thought that was also a possibility that the people in the test tubes could be the people he wanted to wear the special armor.
Yeah.
the test tubes.
Yeah.
What I was gonna
Dish.
say is, I think because Disney's still funding this, and like is the money behind all of this, that it would be a genius move to make the Mandalorian main plot about the creation of a clone of Palpatine to justify the sequel series. So take your most popular Star Wars franchise currently and
Subvert the expectations.
no, I mean, I think, and then give purpose to the storyline that you had just created to kind of bring it all back home. And I think Disney has done stuff like that before.
For sure.
I think that it could be likely because at the root of all of Star Wars now is how is Disney going to make money off of this, unfortunately.
For sure.
And so that's why I think that it could be that. My other thought, though, my initial thought when I first saw the clones was they're cloning Luke Skywalker because of because of the original storyline where it was the post Episode 6 stuff in the old canon where Luke finds out like the enemy that he's fighting is a clone of himself because of the hand and stuff like that. So that's what I initially thought. Just like my mind always goes to that because I always thought that would be such a cool storyline to watch play out. But then I was like, oh, that's no longer canon. We're living in a universe now that's owned by Disney where that never happened. So
Post-truth
then
era.
I started thinking about Snoke. Yeah, but it'd be cool if they went that route too. If they started to try to clone Luke Skywalker.
There's a thought on that too, not on the Luke Skywalker part, but one of the videos I was watching today was drawing all these connections between this episode and other like Legends, old Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the place where, I may be getting this wrong, but the place where the Dark Troopers were created was also a research lab where they were trying to imbue people with the Force.
What?
So there's a lot of references to, I think it's in maybe a Jedi Academy game, something like that. I don't know. One of those old
like that.
Jedi games. But also a thought. But I personally would like it better if they went that route. I wouldn't need the connection, really. I think it sort of explains itself that like Palpatine was doing that on his own. And why would they be doing it on some random backwater lava planet and not in some like secret Sith facility like Exegol, you know?
Well, I'm assuming the Imperial Remnant doesn't have first dibs on a lot of the nice facilities right now.
Well, but Palpatine did. Palpatine
That's
had his
true.
own planet.
That was another thing. I mean, if you think logically, Palpatine still exists in this world.
Yeah.
He didn't blow up.
Yeah.
There's some like force energy or ghost or some spirit of Palpatine still exists and is probably trying to pull the strings in the Mandalorian universe that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I also see it. I'm like, just if they're continuing with the canon that they did for episodes 7, 8, and 9, then that's probably what's going on.
Well, one thing's to be certain, and that's that The Mandalorian has now taken a path that is probably going to be something big and grand towards the end of this season, if not the series as a whole. Mm-hmm. Both incorporating probably all these elements as well as Mandalore. I think we discussed last week with Bo-Katan and everything, how we're headed towards something big.
Bo-Katan.
And explosive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded the quiet Mandalorian series.
Same.
But
almost prefer that.
But I also wouldn't mind a Siege of Mandalore 2, Mandalore Boogaloo. That'd be cool.
And then if they do it again, it'd be the Threege of Mandalore.
This episode was called The Siege.
That's...
And I was really shocked when the director came up at the end and it was Carl Weathers. And I was like, wait a second.
He killed it.
What? He did?
But there's that huge mistake that's been floating around the internet. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, it's like a
what?
Dude standing in the background
a dude
in
with
jeans.
I just saw that, yeah. But there was a scene earlier where Cara Dune she's attacking the smugglers or the dealers. There was a stunt mat left on the ground in one of the shots too. I'm assuming it wasn't just like, insulating the house that they were living in canon. But it looked like there was a stunt
all
mat.
Carl Weathers' fault. All his fault.
Yeah. Way to go, Carl.
It's his job before he says action to look for all the stunt mats on the ground.
What did you guys think?
And the dudes in jeans.
And the dudes in jeans.
You don't know they could have jeans in Star Wars?
Yeah.
So Baby Yoda goes to school. He tries to fix a repair on the ship. He eats blue macarons, and then
it was cool seeing
in the end he's like screaming out of glee as Mando like flies through the air.
That
was my favorite part of Baby Yoda in this episode. It was cool. I like it. Talk about like another thing that just feels so much like old Star Wars. That fight where the TIE fighters, like their wings like go, they fold. Do they do that normally?
I don't know if they do.
I've never seen that before.
I think it must be new in The Mandalorian because I think the Moffs did it last.
What about that
too.
tank thing that they were driving? Was that a new vehicle?
That was from Rebels.
That's from Rebels.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was really
super cool.
Yeah.
The Scout Trooper speeder bike scene was awesome too.
Yeah. Who plays the blue fishy guy again? Or is it Horatio Sands?
Yeah.
It's Horatio Sands.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny. Mm-hmm. I was a big fan of him on SNL. But good episode. I'm very curious. Like the setup for next week or the future was interesting. Like they put the tracker on the ship, but then the same cop shows up, talking to Cara Dune, and he's like, if you ever want to be a police officer, and she's like, nah.
Oh man, I gotta hit the books.
Yeah, here's my contact.
He gives her a massive piece of metal.
Yeah, what was that? Is that like a calling card?
Well, in Star Wars, there's like those little like discs, and you like hit them, and then like a hologram pops up out of it, right?
That one just looked like a giant pin, though. Like she was gonna wear it.
Big old pin.
Like a badge. It looked like a badge. I like how they're still incorporating the New Republic. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
At this point,
into
it was
the
cool,
universe too. When the kids were in school, in the background, we had the subtitles on, and
Same.
The teacher was teaching about like the capital of the New Republic and whatnot. It was just cool little world building you wouldn't have really gotten otherwise.
Did we hear, is my memory failing, or did we hear a Coruscant name drop in this episode?
They said Coruscant, yeah. They said that was the old capital. And then they said Chandrilla is the new capital, which is the temporary capital of the New Republic. Before it moves to Hosnian Prime, which gets blown up in episode 7. Fun fact.
I was going to say, I thought it was Hosnian, which we definitely see blowed up by whatever, Starkiller base.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
And so, yeah. Never mind.
Did you guys watch the Star Wars Lego Christmas special?
The holiday special? No, I didn't.
Is it out?
Yeah, it came out last week.
I didn't realize it was out yet.
It's good. It's probably the closest thing that we will get to in episode 10.
Really?
Uh-huh. But it's also like...
Is it considered canon?
No,
I mean, obviously to a
canon.
degree.
Lego
No,
canon.
it's not considered canon. It takes canon things. I Googled that because there was some like weird stuff in it, and I was like, this can't be canon.
Like Chewbacca's extended family?
Yeah. I mean, is the holiday special considered canon?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so this is...
I think it was.
It was, previously.
Yeah. So this is just as not canon as that.
Okay.
And
that's fun then.
But it's still really cool to watch. Like there's a lot of really funny things I was just chuckling at. But
yeah, I like the Lego Star Wars sense of humor.
Do they talk in this special? Because they don't talk in the games, right?
Yeah,
they
talk.
sort of just
they all talk. Yeah,
they bob and weave. And
Yeah, I think they started talking in The Force Awakens.
Poe
Lego
Dameron,
one.
Poe Dameron wears a Christmas sweater the whole time.
What?
He's in a green Christmas sweater with like a red something on it. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
And then at one point, Darth Vader gets into a Christmas sweater too. But it's super cool. There's like time travel element to it, and so Rey goes back through to like key moments in the 3 trilogies.
It's just like Avengers.
Yeah.
It's exactly like Avengers.
Yeah,
Wow.
sure. But it's only 40 minutes or 45 minutes.
I take it it's on the Disney Prime versus
It's on Hosnian Prime.
Disney Plus, yeah.
Disney Plus. Disney Prime.
It's on the Prime. It's on the Optimus
It's all
Prime.
the same. It's all the Disney flicks.
And this episode was the second shortest of the season.
Really?
I know that because at every Thursday at midnight, I text Gabe the runtime.
39 minutes.
And you have never texted back.
What do you want me to say?
Just say,
Okay.
got it. Can't wait to watch. Hey, I'm happy that you're texting me, friend.
Roger.
Yeah.
I'll just text. It could have been longer. I guess it'll do.
That's what she said.
No. Stop.